Now, you action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here with another TNI news video. And we've got a lot to cover today, so let's jump right into it. And first thing I want to start off with is to let you guys know that we've gotten the official announcement today. I think most of us were expecting this, but we got the official announcement today that this year's San Diego Comic-Con, which takes place in July, will be going virtual once again this year, just like last year, basically due to the COVID pandemic. Now, they have made some indications that perhaps they will try and do some type of live gathering event in November. I don't know exactly what that would entail. I do find it kind of hard to believe even if COVID is no longer a thing in November, that they would actually be able to get all the studios and toy companies and everything to come in November. Seems like a stretch to me. But again, there have been some indications of that, so we'll have to see how that plays out. But for the actual Comic-Con event in July, it will be virtual this year. Now, one other bit of news I wanted to share with you guys, and I don't have specific details to give you at this point, but I did want you essentially as just an FYI to mark your calendars. You probably want to mark your calendars for April 9th, not the 9th of this month, but the next month. It looks like on that day we are going to be getting quite a few official Hasbro reveals, probably in some form of live stream event. I don't know if it's going to be a full-on PulseCon. I kind of doubt it, simply because it looks like it's going to be a one-day thing. But what I can tell you right now is, while I don't have the specifics of how it's going to be done, it does look like that is going to be a day with a lot of different reveals from Hasbro for various brands and stuff. So I don't know if it'll be every single brand or what have you, but again, definitely more than one brand, and I'm expecting a fair amount of reveals on that day. So probably kind of their Toy Fair event, since they really didn't do anything special for Toy Fair in February. This is probably what they had in mind, and they kind of hinted to this in the last Marvel live stream, where they suggested that April was going to be a big reveal month for Marvel Legends, and it looks like it's going to be as well for other brands. So when I have more details, I'll be sure to pass them on to you guys. Now, speaking of Marvel Legends and reveals, we did get actually a couple today. I was only really expecting one, and that was with the Marvel Monday, the first Monday of the month reveal that we always get. And for this month, it was that Black Widow 2-pack that I've talked about previously. So that is in fact coming. However, my information was a little bit off on the set. I told you the set originally was going to have another Red Guardian, I assumed, with a helmeted head, and then a Yelena figure. Well, the Yelena part was off, which I did think was odd, since we'd already gotten Yelena, and I didn't really know how they were going to be able to differentiate her. But it turns out it is actually the second female character, which we did not previously get with the Melina character. She is actually the second figure in this 2-pack. It is movie-based, and the Guardian figure looks much improved over the first one that they did. You get both an unhelmeted and helmeted head, and the unhelmeted head looks much more like the actor than the previous figure did. You get a little mini action figure of himself. This is included. I'm assuming that's something from the movies. I don't recall seeing that in the trailers, but it might have. But that's included with the figure, and so it does kind of suck if you already got the first Red Guardian, but it's not like we haven't seen that before, where they improve upon the figure and then reissue it, and that's essentially what they've done here. Now, this set is available. It's going to be due out later this year. It's going to cost you about $40, and it is available at most places online, including our sponsor, Big Bad Toy Store, for pre-order. Now, besides the Black Widow 2-pack, we also got an official reveal. This comes directly from Marvel Comics, their Marvel Comic website, where they actually showed off the new WandaVision Vision figure. Now, I actually wrote an article this weekend speculating that based on this past weekend's or week's episode 8, that we probably, I've told you guys about the upcoming wave of Disney Plus figures multiple times. I told you how the first wave was going to be including some version of Wanda and Vision. I didn't know exactly which version, and Salome is joining us, everybody. But I didn't know which version of Wanda and Vision it was going to be. Up until this past week, I was thinking maybe it would be the Halloween costumes that would make, based on what we had seen up until this past week, that would have made the most sense. But then when I saw the episode for this week, or this past week, I was like, okay, these are probably going to be the versions that the Marvel Legend figures are for. Both there was a Wanda outfit that appeared, and briefly, which I think we'll get a better look at next week, and that's probably after next week is when they'll show off the WandaVision or the Wanda figure. But the Vision figure, if you caught the after credit scene or mid credit scene this week, they revealed the White Vision. And I admit it seems kind of spoilers to be showing these figures off so soon after the episode aired. I would have waited at least until midweek, but the companies, both Funko and with this Marvel Legend, Funko officially revealed they're doing a White Vision figure that's going to glow in the dark. It'll be a Walmart exclusive, and they also revealed they're doing a Funko Pop, or not exclusive, but a Funko Pop version of Agatha Harkness with her witch robes, which again we saw in the last week's episode. So those images are out there everywhere now, and so unfortunately, if you haven't seen the episode already, you're going to be a little spoiled. But as for Marvel Legends go, these figures have been now officially announced. Now I will say with the Vision, the Marvel Legend Vision, they didn't specifically say, oh, this is going to be part of this Disney Plus wave that I've told you guys about, but I'm about 99% sure that that's what this figure, is going to be part of. That's the wave it's going to be part of. Now, one other bit of Marvel Legend news I have to share with you guys. It is a rumor report. I posted it up on Marvelous News this weekend, so you may have already read about it. But in the report, I tell you about what looks to be three new retro carded Spider-Man figures. Now, one thing, and I talked about this briefly last night during the live stream, but if you didn't watch the live stream, I just wanted to reiterate it here. There is a little bit of conflicting information I have on one of the three figures here listed, and specifically in regards to the black costume Spider-Man figure. Now, note these images are just for reference. That I have no idea. These are not the actual Marvel Legends. These are original Toy Biz figures and stuff. So just reference purposes only. But with this, the product number for this particular figure, I've seen both indications of a black costume Spider-Man and then another figure that has not been announced yet. So I don't know exactly which one's going to be correct. This seems like maybe it's the more recent info, so maybe there was a change or something. And when I know more, I'll be sure to share more details, like what the other figure was and stuff. But for now, out of these three, take that one with the most grain of salt. Now, the other two I've seen multiple indications of, some version of Hobgoblin, again on a retro card, and then this, what is called Webman, which is basically inverted colors of Spider-Man. So an easy repaint that Hasbro could do has appeared in the comics and everything. So again, and there's some other retro Spider-Man figures that I've seen some info on, which I'll share with you soon. It looks like maybe some people have already discovered it, but again, I'll have more details on other retro figures in the near future. But for now, I just wanted to share that info with you. And again, on that black costume Spider-Man, where with that product number, I've seen actually two different figures listed. We'll have to see if it actually ends up being the black costume Spider-Man. Okay, now switching over to Star Wars. So first of all, a little bit of non-toy news I wanted to share with you. This image comes via StarWars.com, and it's our first look at the Fennec character, which had been appearing in the Mandalorian live-action TV series, but she'll also be in the upcoming Bad Batch series. And this is our first look at the animated version of the character. So there should be, I don't know if I've talked about this or not. I think I have, but she should be getting a Black Series figure, likely based on her Mandalorian appearance, but she should be getting a figure, and I expect that announcement to probably come pretty soon. The folks at Yak Face have uncovered another listing at Target for an Obi-Wan Kenobi figure. I'm guessing probably based on Revenge of the Sith, but the specific details are not yet available, but do expect some type of Obi-Wan figure showing up this year as a Target exclusive. And then finally, on the Star Wars front, I just wanted to share with you these official images that were released this past Friday for the upcoming vintage collection Empire Strikes Back Lando Calrissian, and then from the Mandalorian TV series IG-11. Both of these figures had been previously announced by Hasbro, and now we have the official images. We don't have a look at the actual card backs for these two figures yet, but for the figures themselves, you know, pretty much what I guess you would expect for both of these characters, so nothing too surprising, but overall I would say they look pretty good. And these figures have not yet gone up for pre-order, but probably will be going up in the next month or so. Now on to Transformers. The only thing I really have for you guys on the Transformer front are these prototype images that were released by Takara Tomy for their upcoming NP Skids figure. So overall, looks pretty good if you're a fan of Skids. I gotta say, Skids is not a favorite G1 character of mine. You know, I don't even remember if he even appeared in the cartoon. I think maybe in one episode. I did have the original toy as a kid, but it was never a favorite of mine. And then I remember him most from one of the Marvel comic Transformer issues where on the cover he's like having a Western showdown with Megatron. So I do remember that issue. That's what I remember Skids most from. But like I said, out of all the G1 characters, especially from the first season of the Transformers cartoon that I still think need the MP treatment, this was not high up on my list. But we are getting these first prototype images, unpainted prototype images of the figure, and this should be out later in the year. For you Apex Legend fans, Jakks Pacific has announced a third wave of their 6-inch figures for this video, based on this video game. So this is not a game I'm terribly familiar with, but the 3 figures which are available for pre-order now at places like our sponsor Big Bad Toy Store include the character Mirage, Pathfinder with the Crash Test Rare skin, and then the character Bloodhound with the Young Blood Legendary skin. So again, all 3 figures are available for pre-order now at our sponsor Big Bad Toy Store. Now moving on to NECA Toys. So first of all, I've got some new updated images for the Toony Terror's Jaws figure. I talked about this one a few weeks ago when NECA released the initial teaser image for it. But now we've got a better look at it. Now, they didn't give any specific details. So like the figure you see here, I don't know if this is being sold as like a set or if the figure is going to be sold separately. It would be kind of a cool set. You can see the guy's getting eaten and everything. But, and you got the ship and such, the crash ship and such after Jaws was through with it. So again, I don't know exactly how this is going to be released. If it's going to be released as like a deluxe set, that's kind of my guess here. But they have not given those specific details. But if you're a fan of Jaws and you like the Toony Terror figures, which are about 6-inch in scale, you probably are going to want to check this one out. And then this weekend, we talked about this yesterday during the live stream, but this weekend, NECA Toys released a teaser image, our first image of their Werewolf from the American Werewolf in London movie, which came out in the early 80s. A pretty killer, probably considered one of the best modern werewolf movies. By today's standards, it's maybe kind of cheap. I haven't watched it in a long time. My mom actually took me to see this when I was a kid. And the coolest thing I remember is just the guy transforming as his mouth was, his face was expanding out into the werewolf head and stuff. But NECA is at least doing the werewolf figure from this movie. No word on whether they'll do any of the human characters or, maybe a mid-transformation character. That would be kind of up NECA's alley. No specific details on this line and how extensive it's going to be, but they're definitely looking to be doing the werewolf from the American Werewolf in London. And that shouldn't be confused with the classic Wolfman figure that they teased earlier last week that I talked about in the last news video. Still no additional details on that figure, but that is a separate figure from this werewolf from the more modern movie. For you Masters of the Universe fans, Target has put up on their website their Target exclusive Masters of the Universe Origins 2-pack that was announced back during PowerCon last year. This image, we had seen kind of a smaller version of this image, but now thanks to Target, we have a larger high-res image of the 2-pack, and it's called The Rise of Evil, and it is based on the character Keldor, which of course is Skeletor before he gets his face burnt off, and then also the Cronus character, which is Trapjaw before he becomes Trapjaw. So it's kind of an actual Origins 2-pack. And again, this is a Target exclusive. It is going to cost you, the price on this one is $39.99, which is kind of a hefty price for the Origins line. But, and while it's not, last time I checked, it wasn't actually available for purchase on the website, it is listed there. and this will be available in physical stores. I haven't heard if it's shown up in physical stores yet, but if it hasn't yet, it probably will be sometime this month. Speaking of Target exclusives, we also got official images for the Playmates Toys Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles box set featuring the movie. So I believe I talked about this. There was a initial image for this set released, I think it was back in December, and I think I talked about it then. So this is basically a reproduction of older turtle figures that Playmates did back in the day. It's listed as the movie stars. So you get the outer packaging, which is kind of cool, and then you get the individually carded figures in the box set, and the box set includes the 4 turtles, Splinter, and a version of Super Shredder. And again, these are reproduction of older figures that Playmates Toys had done. You know, we've been seeing them do this quite a bit recently with these box sets, and this particular one is a Target exclusive. Now this set's going to cost you $45, and like the Masters of the Universe Origins one, it is currently listed on the Target website. However, it is not currently available for purchase, and I've not seen any indication yet that it's actually started to hit physical stores. For you Jurassic Park fans, last week we got our first official images for the upcoming Amber Collection 6-inch, the second version of Dr. Ian Malcolm, and then also the Samuel L. Jackson Ray Arnold figure. So I've talked about how this figure was coming, but now we've got our first images for it. The Malcolm figure is pretty basic. He comes with a flare and a walkie-talkie. And then the Samuel L. Jackson figure, the Ray Arnold figure, he's got a headset, he's got his glasses, he comes with a computer, a desktop system like you saw him use in the movie. It would have been cool if on the screen there they had Nedry's little, when he was trying to get into the system and Nedry had locked him out on that little screen, but as it is, it looks like it's just a map of the park itself on the screen there. But these figures are available for pre-order at places like our sponsor Big Bad Toy Store, and again, they are 6-inch in scale. And the images initially came from the fan site Collect Jurassic. Going back to NECA, last week they also released some new images for one of the figures in, I guess, the second wave of their Defenders of the Earth line, with the basically the Lothar figure. Now, we had seen this figure on display back in last February during Toy Fair, the last live Toy Fair that we got, along with the other figure that is yet to be released in this line, the Mandrake the Magician. Both figures are still coming according to NECA, so I guess these will be released as a second wave. They've also indicated they have other characters in the works for this line that they've yet to reveal, so we'll have to see if they add any other figures to the second wave, or if they just do a 2-wave assortment, and then, if those sell well, then they'll move forward with more. Now, right now, the first wave of figures with Flash Gordon, Ming, and the Phantom are hitting Walmart stores, and starting sometime this month, I believe, they should be available everywhere. So I would expect someplace like a Big Bad Toy Store to start taking pre-orders for them pretty soon. For you Fortnite fans, last week we got a bit of a surprise announcement from Hasbro during their Investor Day virtual event, where they announced that they had expanded their licensing agreement with Epic Games, which is the company that actually makes the Fortnite video game. Now, you may recall previously Hasbro had announced that they were going to be doing a one-off Snake Eyes figure, because Snake Eyes was now going to be appearing in the Fortnite video game, and so they were doing essentially a classified figure, but giving it some Fortnite-like weapons, and they changed up the figure and stuff a little bit to kind of make it look like how it's going to appear in the video game. But it looks like they're going to be extending that and doing other action figures. Now, initially in the announcement during the Investor Day thing, it wasn't entirely clear if they were actually announcing they were going to be doing full-on Fortnite figures, or just maybe more figures like the G.I. Joe Classified one of characters that actually appear in the game that are based on properties that Hasbro makes action figures from. So I do expect that. I do expect we're probably down the road going to see Marvel Legend versions of the Marvel characters that have appeared in the Fortnite game. Same with Star Wars, G.I. Joe, things like that. But I reached out to Hasbro for clarification after they made the announcement, and they informed me that their licensing agreement includes, they can do regular Fortnite characters for pretty much any Fortnite character that in 6-inch or above scale. So their license does not include 4-inch figures. Now, I've tried reaching out to both Jazzwares, who had been doing 6-inch and 4-inch Fortnite figures, as well as McFarlane Toys, who was doing 7-inch Fortnite figures, and neither one has responded to me. But based on what Hasbro told me about their license, including 6-inch and up, I'm guessing that we are probably not going to see any more. And I don't know exactly when this is going to start taking place, but here in the near future, I don't think we're going to see any more 6-inch Fortnite figures from Jazzwares, nor are we going to see any more 7-inch Fortnite figures from McFarlane Toys. We might see like Jazzwares continue their 4-inch figures. That's really what I'm trying to get a confirmation of from Jazzwares, is whether they're going to continue doing 4-inch figures, since that seemed to be a pretty popular line with collectors. But again, I don't have those details. All I can tell you is that the license that Hasbro has now with Epic Games for Fortnite does not include anything below 6-inch in scale. And as I mentioned, I've seen some teases from some of the brand team managers and stuff, and I do totally expect that we're going to see things like Marvel characters in the Fortnite theme and Star Wars and so on and so forth. Now, the final bit of news I'll leave with you guys today is on the McFarlane toy front. So still no official word yet on those Snyder Cut Justice League figures, but I am very hopeful that perhaps we will get the official announcement on those this week sometime. I've seen some indication, companies like Funko that are starting to show off their Funko Pop versions of the characters from the movie, including like Darkseid and such. So I am hopeful that perhaps McFarlane sometime this week will be making that official announcement. But as I'm filming this, still no official word on those Snyder Cut Justice League figures. I know a number of you have been asking about them. But I did want to go on and share these new official images of the regular release version of the Mandarin Spawn. This is the red version, not to be mistaken with the gold label blue one. That's a Walmart exclusive. Now, this one is currently up for pre-order on the Target website, or at least it was. I haven't checked to see if it's still available, but it was listed on the Target website. That's where these official images come from. It should not be a Target exclusive. It should be available everywhere, but when other places start taking pre-orders for it, I don't know. As per usual with the McFarlane stuff, it looks like Target is getting first crack at it, and then probably in a month or so, we'll see other places start to put it up for pre-order. Okay, so that's it for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on everything I talked about in the comment section below. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. Stay safe out there, guys, and until next time, I'll catch you later. Hey, thanks for watching today's video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. And be sure to head over to the Toy News International and Marvelous News message boards communities. It's a great place to talk toys and win cool contests like $100 store credits to Big Bad Toy Store. And remember, action figures are great.